Hello, class. So, today's lesson we will be talking about the different types of movements and different kinds of sounds that all play part in the way we either act or we may feel. So, today we're going to be talking about a few things, but also we will be playing about two or three games. And these games are all games that are going to ask you to either perform, and we're going to have to talk to our group members, and it's going to be awesome. So, pay close attention, and here it is. So our first game is called the expression game, the facial expression game. And so what this is Miss Naomi has a few plates. These are my plates. And on each of these plates, I have different types of emotions on them, or I should say different types of faces. And each of these faces is an emotion that we all feel. And emotions are basically, like I said, feelings that we all have. And some of you guys are still only 5 years old because you're in kindergarten and this is all for you. And so what I'm going to try to do is show you these faces, and I really want you to think about any situations and any types of movements that these faces cause you to feel. And so the first face we're going to go through is this one. So can you tell me what kind of face this is? Yes, it's a blue face, but what kind of face? Like, what's their facial expression? Oh, okay. So this facial expression is sad. So let's see your sad face. Wow, some good sad faces. Okay. So what makes you feel sad? Oh, okay. Okay. So what makes you feel sad is when friends take toys, or sometimes when mommy and daddy take things away, right? So that's sometimes sad. What's a movement we can do when we're sad? Oh, we can rub our eyes. What else? Oh, we can put our head down. Okay, good movements. Okay, what about this plate? This is a happy movement. Okay, so what kind of happy movements do you have? Oh, so a little pep in your step and all that. Oh, good job. Let me see your happy faces. Excellent. Okay, what kind of face is this? Oh, a mad face. Why do you think he's mad? How does his face look? Oh, he just has a line. Good job. Okay, so what makes you mad? Oh, when friends take toys? Oh, okay. What about this face? What does this face help? What do you think this does? A silly face. Great job. Okay, so this is a silly face. What makes you feel silly? Oh, when friends tickle you? Okay, that's cool. So what about this face? A scared face. Let me see your scared face. Wow, some good scare faces. What makes you feel scared? Oh, spiders. Oh, okay. And our last face is a surprise. What's a surprise face? When you go to Disneyland? All right. Okay, cool. So, all these faces, friends, have different types of emotions that we feel. And a lot of these faces helps us to we sometimes remember a time in our lives when we felt like that, right? A lot of you said our surprise face is when you go to Disneyland. So you remember that feeling. Same thing with being scared and with being mad and sad. Okay. So we're going to play this game called Act It Out. And so what this game is Miss Naomi is going to put these plates on the front table. And what you're going to do is I'm going to divide you up into table groups, and with a teacher and an aide, we're going to work on finding different situations of when these emotions sometimes take place in our lives or have taken place. And so what you're going to do is you're going to be divided into groups, and you are going to pick one person from your group to come up to the front and to pick an emotion plate. And your group is responsible for coming up with a situation where you have felt this way, and here's the fun part, you're going to have to act it out. So you have to come up with a performance. So it would be if me and my group wanted to talk about being silly. If one of our group members picked the silly emoji, or I should say emotion, it would be, we would have a discussion as to when times in our lives when we felt like we were being silly. And so me and my group, we come up with maybe when friends tickle us. And so we come up with having a group of friends tickle each other. And we laugh and we're acting silly. And so we come up with to the front of the class and we perform that whole tickling. And so that's what we want you guys to do in your groups. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up, like I said, pick an emotion, go back to your table, and you're going to discuss. So I'm going to give you about 20 minutes to discuss the emotion you want and also to figure out a scenario for it or a situation. And once you're done, I'm going to ring my bell and you guys are going to come up and we'll go from there. Okay. So go ahead, feel free. Miss Naomi and my teacher's aide will be around to assist you. Okay. Okay. So bring it in, class. Thank you very much for being cooperative. And so let's see some of your performances. Many of the performances, one performance was about the sadness emotion. And so a group shared that they were once sad when their mommies and daddies dropped them off to school when they were in preschool. And so what they did is, if we can remember, they had two friends play the mommy and daddy, and they were pretending they were driving in their car, and they bring their child and drop them off at school. The child then is very sad, he's kicking and he's crying, and the mommy and daddy try to comfort him. And that is a moment where the child was feeling sad. So great job to that group. Okay. So as you guys can see, a lot of these emotion plates play a huge part in the way we feel and the way we act sometimes. And we just have to figure out how we can get through these emotions. So as we move on, we'll talk about just different ways, different things that trigger all these emotions. So the next game we're going to move on into is called So, as you guys can see, that all these emotions play a huge part in the way we act and the way we feel. And sometimes these emotions can help us act out situations in our lives. And so the next game we're going to move on to is called Listen, Act, and Perform. And in this activity, Miss Naomi is going to play I'm going to play songs, I'm going to show you pictures, and I'm going to show you words, even words. And I want you to tell Miss Naomi how those words, how those songs, and how those pictures make you feel. And after we have that discussion, we're going to move into you acting out those feelings throughout this whole process. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you pictures. And I'm going to ask you how these pictures make you feel. So here's picture number 1, if we can see it. Can you tell me what's going on in picture number 1? Yes, so in picture number 1, our friends are fighting. Does that make you happy or does that make you sad? Oh, it makes you kind of sad. Why does it make you sad? Oh, because you think someone's going to get hurt. Okay, so friends fighting. How does that look towards you? What move does that make you do? What's a fighting move that you can do? Oh, so you can punch your arms. Okay, so that's a move that comes along with fighting. Okay. So, next picture. What does this picture make you feel? Oh, okay. So this is a picture of friends hugging. What does hugging look like? Oh, using your arms. Great job. So here's another move we can do. And hugging, what does hugging make you feel? Well, hugging makes you feel loved, makes you feel warm. Good job. Okay, next picture. A baby crying. What does a baby crying make you feel? It makes you feel very sad. Oh, that you want to help the baby. Okay. So these pictures all trigger different kind of movements for us. So fighting triggers the arm movement. The crying baby makes you feel very sad, so a sad movement. Hugging makes you feel a love. Great job. Okay, now we're going to move on to the words. Okay, so here's this word, family. So, what does family make you feel? Love. You want to hug them. Okay. How about this word? Love. What does love make you feel? Happy, warm. Okay. How about this word? Dog. What does dog make you feel? Oh, you love petting your doggy. Your name of your doggy. Okay. So, these words trigger different types of movements for us, correct? Family can trigger a hugging movement. Love makes you just want to cross your arms. And your doggy, you just want to pet your doggy, correct? Okay. So now, what we're going to move on to is listening for songs. And we're going to try to figure out how these songs play part in the way we move. So, here's the first song. Please listen. Okay. So, as you can see, the song seems to be very happy, very upbeat. And what does that move? What kind of movement does that signal for? Okay, so, we're kind of like moving our head. Okay, great job. Okay, so our next movement song will be this one. Please be sure you're listening. So, what kind of movement do you think this song creates? Very sad, very just want to be by yourself. Okay. Now, let's go into the next song. This different. What does this make you feel? Scared? What movement? Shoulders. Okay. So, these are all different kinds of movements. These songs all trigger different kinds of movements for us, but we all show different types of feelings toward these music. So, what we're going to do is I am going to split you up in groups like we did for the Act It Out activity, but this time, instead of acting it out, you're going to perform it out. So, pretty much is I'm going to assign you groups along with your teacher and your teacher's aide, and we are going, Miss Naomi is going to assign you a song, a specific version of a song, such as a happy song, a sad song, and you are going to be responsible for coming up with different movements to dictate that song. So if it's a very happy-go-lucky song, I want to see a lot of wrist movements, a lot of just a little bit more bouncing. And if it's more of a sad song, maybe a more softer, more slow movements. But it's all up to you to decide what you want to do as a group. And so we will give you 20 minutes to figure out what you want to do, and I will assign it. And then once we're done, we'll bring it back together and we'll see some performances. Okay? So go ahead, break up into your groups. If you need help, we'll come around and we'll help you. Okay, friends, so it's time to bring it in. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, so our first group will be group number 1. Okay, group number 1, you had a sad song. So let's see your sad movements. Oh, okay. Great job. Okay, group number 2. Let's see your happy movements. Okay, so we see a lot of movement of the arms, a lot of bouncing. So excellent job. Great job. Okay, friends. So each song and each picture and each word all dictate something different for us. But they all play part in the way we act it out and the way we take it in. And each movement that the song portrays causes us to act it out. Thank you. So friends, as we conclude the lesson, we come to find out that each song, each picture, and each word all play part in the way we act sometimes, right? And so, as we saw through these performances, each song dictated a certain move for the students. And so what we want, after we're done with all this, what I want you to do is to go to your desk. You will have a worksheet that looks something like this, and it will have different kinds of faces on them. And with each face, you will turn it over and you will create a scene that matches that face. So if I have a happy face, I want you to create something happy on the back. If you have a sad face, I want you to create something sad on there. And as we create this, we will the next class period try to act and perform these scenarios out onto the class. So other than that, great job. Let's keep up the good work, and you're free. Thank you, class.